Hi everyone. Well, I love rituals in my life. They give me meaning and substance, and I want to share with you 6 ways that I think rituals can flood your life with happiness, health, and meaning. And for me, it starts with just stability. The world is in a crazy space right now. We just don't know from one minute to the next what's going to happen. And I think having a ritual in our lives, especially morning rituals for me, really help to set you off in a sense of, security and, that things are going to be okay, that there's a structure to your life that's important. You can do exercise or meditation, journaling. There's so many different techniques that you can use to kind of reinforce that stability and that sense of purpose. But some people even have like a small altar, a sacred altar where they've got things that just bring to them a sense of harmony and balance. A sense of purpose is the second thing. The structure is important, but having that sense of purpose is really also so critical, I think, to living our lives with passion and purpose as we get a little older. Maybe it's an opportunity to have a ritual that helps you to set intentions, to have a plan, to shape a plan, to understand the why in your life, the why behind your actions, why you're doing things. That's such a powerful ritual to keep continually asking yourself that whenever you're about to make a decision, or whether you're trying to move forward with an action. Why are you doing that? What's the important thing? And that ritual for me is very, very important. Also, ritual can help to reduce stress. I think when you do something every day that is, that is calming and rhythmic and graceful, you somehow can then feel like you're not so, what's the word, like influenced and overwhelmed by things that are going on around you. As I said earlier, the world is not in a very stable place at the moment. So having those rituals, I think, really, really helps to have that removal of stress and a sense that all is well with the world. At least you're making it that way. It can improve your health and your fitness. Now, I've recently had, this experience myself where I've realized that there's some things that can happen in your body that can be, displaying themselves as a physical issue. But really behind that is, a sense of imbalance, that you're just not living your life in the way that, it's going to create a harmony and a lifestyle that will generate good health. So I think that having a ritual that is, powerfully connected to who you are, to your spirit, to your, purpose that you've defined, gives you that kind of balance that helps your body to just stay in harmony and in symbiosis. It's a helpful thing when you're feeling a bit out of sorts or just not healthy, not well. And it generates also solutions to those things, because in your ritual you kind of you ground yourself, and then you can then go from there to find actions that the thoughts generate from that confidence will help you. So it helps with health for sure. And walking is always part of my ritual in the morning, for example. In fact, I'll tell you about my favorite ritual in a second, because I think it's kind of a fun one, and it involves more than just sitting and journaling or writing. And I'm just making sure that I do a combination of things with my rituals. One is just walking every day. I pretty much go out for a walk every single morning, and even if it's cold, I kind of bundle up, and I know that getting out into nature and into the world is a ritual that gives me strength. It makes me feel strong. It makes me feel like I'm I don't know, just how it's not just me battling this crazy world. I'm actually connected to a rhythm of nature that's really, really powerful. It's also gives me a connection to people that I love, people that are important to me. And I do this with my favorite ritual, and this is my gratitude ritual. Now, in terms of walking and having a good breakfast and, and having other rituals around daily activities, like at different times in the day, this ritual in the morning is my one that's really powerful. And I think a lot of us do it. Some of us, as I mentioned earlier, will use a journal or use, some kind of a meditation. But I get up and I walk around and I say out loud the people that I am grateful for. I call them by name. And I call them by name and I say, I'm grateful for, and then something about them. Maybe something happened recently or yesterday or even in the morning, just something that I'm grateful for you because of this. And make it as specific as I can to a daily activity, like not because you are a kind person and you're always looking out for me. It's like that you did this or you said that. And I say the name. And sometimes I say it loud. I want them to hear. So I think that particular ritual for me is super, super powerful, and it actually helps you to, not only ground your connection to that person in a practical way, in a real way, but at the same time, it makes you feel like you are, you're doing something for yourself too. You're saying, I'm really doing okay, and I'm grateful. I'm doing okay because I have these people standing by my side, these situations, even the place you're living, even the things that you're able to afford to enjoy as part of your life, journey. I think it's really, really powerful. So that's, I think, my thoughts about rituals and about, how they can impact your life in so many different ways positively. They give you structure, they give you purpose, they give you meaning, and they give you strength. They give you courage. I mean, this is the time of life when, any time of life is to actually feel like you are brave enough to stand up, face what's ahead of you, but do it in a way that you've got solid roots, and those are the rituals create those roots, and those roots give you they empower you not just with the activity, but with the thought, which turns into the action. So start small. Let these rituals be grounded in your values, what's important to you. It's no good trying to do this for someone else. You're never going to be able to, create a ritual that works for everybody. Although I do think that the gratitude ritual is one that everybody should use. I really do think that one would work for any human being on the planet. But make it meaningful. Just don't make it like a ritual that or maybe having a cup of coffee for you or a cup of tea is a ritual, and I don't think there's any problem with that. If you do something that gives you a permission and gives you a reason to just stop what you're doing, pick up sort of like the Japanese tea ceremony, like don't just pour a tea bag and then pour the water in, actually put the water in the cup with thoughtful pouring. Find your tea bag, maybe find one that's purposeful for that day, something that's got the ingredients in it that you feel inspired, and just thank, thank the trees, thank the plants, thank the person that brought it to your, your store, and put the tea bag in the water. Take a breath, put down anything else you're doing. Don't look at your computer and actually just drink the tea. Drink the tea with love, with compassion, as a ritual. And I actually do that pretty much. I don't know if I would call it a ritual anymore in the way it used to be in my life. I used to always start all my days with a cup of tea that was like turmeric one day, green tea the next day, but that was okay. That was somehow the way that I found the ritual to activate my energy and to activate my the happiness in my life. And as I mentioned earlier, rituals really can flood you with happiness and meaning and purpose in your life. They have power, and you have control over them. You can design them. You can do your own rituals in whatever way that your heart desires. Be consistent, because if you don't do it every day, it's not a ritual. And sometimes, by the way, you'll do a ritual more than once in the day. The act of the ritual is actually the moment where you take a moment to pause and to reflect and to sort of reframe a situation that you might be considering, or a personal situation, or a decision on purchasing something. You might do that ritual several different times a day. But be flexible, and it's okay to mess up. I mean, try a ritual, and if it doesn't work, for example, you say, okay, I'm going to do this ritual of walking 2 miles every day. I'm pretty lucky if I do 1 mile a day, but it doesn't matter. I mean, the ritual is not the number of steps. It is the doing of the intended action, the thing that's going to make you feel like I did that. I had control over that. That was a ritual that gave me strength. It gave me confidence to go forward. Experiment. Try new rituals. I actually do have a little altar that I put together, that I put my favorite things on for years, and now my grandchildren are adding to them, and I've got a very interesting collage. But it just is, it's a little altar with things, little objects that have huge love associated with them. They're the things that really were given to me, or that somebody made, or whatever. Those go to my altar, and many times a day I'll go by it and just stop and thank you, and do a gratitude thank you. And that ritual of just acknowledging the gifts is really cool. And then finally, be curious. Get out there and try new things. Try new experiments that, maybe the ritual is something is a physical thing, or maybe it's just a thought, that you'll do a quote a day, or that you'll write a page a day, or that you will, go on a journey where you go to somewhere different every day. Be curious, open your heart and mind to ritual, because it can be powerfully, inspiring. And that's all I wanted to say about it, because I think for me, it's my life. I love having the rituals I do, guiding me and strengthening me and bringing happiness and joy and meaning into my world. How about you? Do you have any rituals that you'd like to share? Please leave them in the section below. I'd love to know what your things are that give you meaning and courage in your life. What rituals do you enjoy? Take care. Lots of love.